Gaz Jackson. I'm the RMT regional organizer for Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. I want to tell you a little story, really, and I think it started, and it's very important for people to understand. It started back on March the 17th. March 17th is the day that 800 seafarers got sacked at P&O ferries, and I think that that was the very beginning of the fight back of the trade union movement in this country, because I think people actually, instead of talking about things, we're actually getting things done. What happened to them seafarers at P&O ferries was absolutely unforgivable. The government sold 800 seafarers down the river. The company have got away with it. They broke the law. The managing director said in a transport select committee that he broke the law and he'd do it again. But what we saw was a coming together of people. Real short notice. People turned out, certainly at Hull. We had over 250 people there at one of the demonstrations. We occupied the departure lounge as well. I was actually on the ship when myself and the captain, the captain ordered the gangway to be lifted so we couldn't get taken off by the security guards that were there until our members received everything that needed to receive. So I think that was the start, a real spark in people's bellies within this trade union movement and the left, because I think we've been too dormant for too long. And I think, you look at the TUC and they're very good at writing letters, and they're very good at marches, but what do they actually do? What they should be doing is what unions like my own, the CWU, the NEU, and like John said, I could be here all night listing the trade unions that are currently balloting or planning to ballot in the near future. I've seen on the news tonight that the government are kindly giving public sector workers a minimum of 4.5% pay rise. Well, that's 6.6% below inflation. So in real terms, that's near enough a 7% pay gap between inflation and the rise that they're giving them. So I'll move on to the dispute that we're currently going through nationally. We've had 3 days of industrial action on Network Rail and the train operating companies. We brought the country to a standstill for 3 days. And I'm proud to say that our members voted overwhelmingly for this industrial action. Now, I'll be honest with you, I always thought we'd get a yes vote, but whether we met the thresholds, that would be a different matter, as you all know. The anti-trade union laws are stacked up against any trade unions that want to take action. So we had to do a lot of work around engaging with our members. And it's fantastic to see the turnout for CWU today. I think it's 97.4% yes vote on an 89% return of papers. Absolutely fantastic. And I think the trade unions and the people within trade unions and the activists are coming together. And I think we need to have coordinated action, and we need to fight these companies and the government together. Because I know my union would go out and strike, as they have done previously before we got the anti-trade union laws as they are now, for other people, because they're not able to. But we would. In the miners' strike, we didn't move coal. When we was the NUR before we become the RMT, we didn't move coal in solidarity for the striking miners, and we would do exactly the same. And it really irritates me when you see the right-wing media saying, well, these railway workers are on £31,000 a year. That's 10 grand a year more than a nurse. Well, nobody's given us that. We've fought for that, and we want everybody to have a decent pay rise. When we talk about inflation, and I'm not an economist. I'm a simple working man who's become an officer within the trade union that I love. But it's quite easy to understand inflation and how to bring inflation down. Now, inflation will only come down if people start spending money. And the only way that people are going to start spending money is if they've got spare money. We've all seen how petrol's nearly £2 a litre. Your gas and electric's gone up 60-70%. And it's only going to go higher in October. The government think they've done us a favour by furloughing people. What they've done is they've seen it as a kid like at Christmas. All the Christmases have come at once. But people need money in the pockets, and that's what we're pushing for. Our dispute's about 3 things. It doesn't matter whether you've got a pay rise of 5% or 25%. The first thing that we're asking for is job security. And once we've got that, we're going to start talking about saving our terms and conditions and then a pay rise. Because like I've said, it doesn't matter whether you get a 5% pay rise or a 25% pay rise if you've got no job. So it's been a pleasure. I could probably speak for the next 3 hours on this. So I've tried to keep it as basic as I possibly can. I'm happy to take any questions if that's all right with the chair. And I'll hang around till about 8 o'clock. So I've got 2 more Zooms to do tonight before 9 o'clock. So just that's the joy of using technology. You can be in 3 places at once in 3 hours, but you don't actually ever get time to sit down and just relax. So thank you very much for all your time, and thanks for listening.